Hey, well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day, and I thank you for tuning in. And those who've been tuning in for the first time, I thank you. And on today's episode, I'm talking about what does the Bible say about giving? What does the Bible say about giving? And I'll be sharing some clips, some YouTube clips on some celebrities that had a heart to give. Also, I'll be sharing what does it say the Lord in some scriptures, after scriptures that I'll be sharing about giving. And so join me as I dive into what does the Bible say about giving. And it's something about giving that it makes you feel good inside. It not only makes you feel good inside, but it's a joy in your inner soul. I know for me, it's a joy in your inner soul when it comes to lending a hand to somebody or seeing somebody smile because you just helped them. It's something about giving that is undescribable, that you're helping other people out. And and leave a comment if you know the feeling of what I'm talking about. It don't have to be a lot of money, but just lending a hand and being there for somebody. And also, if you could help somebody, and that's just giving of yourself and being a blessing to those around you. You don't have to say words. You don't have to be a preacher to do that. But it's just giving of yourself, your service, or giving of yourself, or lending a hand to somebody that's in need. Yeah, something about giving. Even though you see many people on the streets asking for something to eat, or asking is something about when you see them. I know when I see, even when I was younger, when I seen people asking for something, I always felt the urge to give them something. Even if I had very little in my pocket, I felt the urge to just lend a hand, because that could have been me sitting out there with a help sign. And I can't see somebody that's handicapped, no hands. And sometimes why we gotta thank God for what we have. We gotta thank God and be thankful for what we have, because when you see somebody that maybe is a vet, they've been through they're military veteran, or they lost their limbs due to diabetes, and then you see them on the street, it just I know for me it tugs at my heart to say, you know what, let me just, even if I have very little, let me just give this person something, because you got to be thankful for what you got, man. And I see this. That's why I try to say, Lord, sometimes we complain and we see people like this, and then we have nothing much to complain about. Because remember, it's always somebody that has it more worse than you. And I always keep that in back of my head. I remember many times, a few years ago, not so long ago, a few years ago, I would say a few years ago, when my kids were younger, me and my wife, we used to take our kids, and we used to Thanksgiving, when that time come around in November in America, we used to go and we just share out and go to churches and share out food to the community, to the elderly and people that's in need of food in the environment. And you always felt so good when you came back home, because you know that we gave of ourselves. You may not have money to give all the time, but if you give your service, that's a blessing, and that's a blessing too. And I learned never to ignore everyone on the street you pass by. Because even if you offer them something, you give them something, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just want to give them something food to eat because there's people on the street that will take the money and they'll waste it on alcohol, liquor, or they'll waste it on something that can't help their body, like drugs, especially if they have also have mental issues. You want to go into a store, and I learned to go into a store and just don't just give them money. Go into a store and buy them something, so you know that you give them something to eat. Because sometimes they ask for something to eat, and they don't really want food; they want that fix. So you go into a store and you give them something, you buy them something. It have to be something nothing expensive, no food that is expensive, but maybe like a little McDonald's sandwich or Happy McDonald's sandwich or Burger King, and you give that person something to eat. If you're a person that love helping others and love helping people get out of their situation, um, you're gonna be blessed. And there's many people that don't have a home to stay. There's many people that's in shelters and they need a place to stay. There's many people on the street, especially in major cities, New York City, Chicago, LA, Los Angeles, Hawaii, that's homeless on the street and they need a place of refuge. You need an environment to stay in to keep warm. Well, it's hot out there right now in New York, in America, in New York City, summertime. So they need a place to stay, even just to rest your head. You need a bed to rest your head. And there's community centers. There's homeless shelters that will take you in, and it feels good to work in an environment like that because you know that you're helping people get a room and board with food to eat in their stomach, food to put in their stomach, excuse me. Yeah. Let's turn to a scripture. Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion. So when you give whatever's in your heart. If you feel the need to give to somebody, maybe God has something in your heart to give to this person, you give to that person, but not with reluctantly or under compulsion, under pressure to give. Just give to that person that's in need. If God has something in your heart to give that to that person, and this coming out of 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 7. Many places where I traveled, I seen poverty. And you got to travel around the world to see other types of poverty. I'll never forget the journey to Haiti back in 2017 as a missionary. With me and my wife, we went as missionaries, and we seen poverty like no other before. Imagine living in mud. Imagine you're a person that have no floor, and that's your home. You have a tent is your home, and you have no floor, and you're living in mud just like the pigs, like a pig pen. Pigs have better place for you to stay than you. And the people, in order for them to get homes, it's like a lottery in Haiti. It's like a lottery. You gotta wait for a lottery, and then they can possibly give you a home. And the home that they give you is a small, like stone, made of stone. The homes are made of stone in Haiti, and no sheetrock, none of that. But imagine living in a place or living in a home that you only have they have like a piece of cloth thrown over you as a roof, and you're living in mud, and the only thing that's holding up your shelter is pieces of wood. Imagine that. Imagine living like that. In the United States, there are over 500,000 people experiencing homelessness, according to the census in 2024. And if you go and you look at places like Los Angeles, even New York City, but Los Angeles, when I went to Los Angeles back in 2023, summer of 2023, seen a lot of homeless people walking in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. American family I seen digging through garbage, and it's sad to see that. And you just want to do something to give, and you see, I think the Governor Galvin said he was going to do something to help the homeless in Los Angeles. I don't know what happened. I gotta check out the latest news in Los Angeles. What he's doing with the homeless population is exploded off the roof in Los Angeles, and sad. Man, it's a blessing when you can get together with your significant other and get into some organizations that talk about helping other people out. And it's a blessing, also a blessing when you both have the same passion of being a hand and helping others out to get out their dilemmas, especially with homelessness and especially with um, feeding homeless people on the street and getting into organizations that can help them get off the street. And you both have the same passion. Even if you two are talking about common future missionaries, missionary, those who don't know, missionaries are those who are believers in God, that's in a ministry that go out to not only preach the gospel in different countries or different cities, but also they share things that people need, like water, food, and resources that people need to survive. Well, in 2024, United States is facing a mental health crisis that affects people of all ages. Some statistics on mental health in the US in 2024. Man, anxiety disorders, the most reported mental health issues in the US, is affecting 42.5 million people, including 4.5 million children. Wow. So that's why they need more social workers, mental health services, and also homeless shelters, because more and more people are facing this in the States. So we need more resources out there. And if you can lend a help and being an add to the society and be a helping hand, that's a way of helping your environment and your community. Let's turn to a scripture. Hebrews chapter 13, verses 16. Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for a sacrifice are pleasing to God. And that's what it is when you lend a hand and you make that sacrifice, you go out your way to be of service. That's that God is telling you that keep doing it. Don't neglect it. If you can help somebody else out, why not? Yes, the giving and giving of yourself is something that's got to be placed in you. And you're not thinking just about yourself, you're thinking of others. And God will bless you when you can give of yourself. And some people think you have to be wealthy just to give. No, you don't. You can give of your time, give of just efforts and helping that brother out, helping that sister out, giving them some information that they need to get them to the next level, giving them that, sharing that information that they need to help them out in their circumstances. You don't always have to always think it's always about money. No, that helps too. That helps too. But it's also being there for somebody, that being there for a friend or being there for someone that may need your help. That may need your help. So it's always a blessing, and God honors you when you can give of yourself and you can be a help to somebody else. There was a time when you where you go to certain countries and they need clean water because some countries don't have the clean water. They don't have that resource. And when you can go and you can be of help and just give of yourself, sacrifice your pleasure, your fun, your pleasures, just to help someone else out or help a people out, God sees you. God sees you. Yeah, I forgot to mention, even right here in the United States, there was a time, I think it was a few years ago, Flint, Michigan had that bad water source and people were getting sick and it was pretty bad, pretty bad, pretty bad. And it was just waiting for the government to help, waiting for the government, the politicians to help. And yeah, so if you ever want to look into a story called what Flint, Michigan and bad water, yeah. So even here in the United States, uh, had a source of bad water, and I think people were trying to donate. It had some donations to help the citizens of Flint, Michigan. Yeah, love being of help to my community. Love being a help to my community and just being there. And I see some ministries, some churches in my community that do share out food. Some churches share out food and as a haven for the community all year round. Some churches do it during the holiday season, like Thanksgiving. Some places, Salvation Army, and certain organizations that help people with resources like food. Food is what they push home and drive to people that's in need. And man, when if you can help, be in an organization that help people share food out, it's a rewarding. And I'm gonna repeat myself again. It's a rewarding feeling. Rewarding feeling. Even showing some kind of encouragement to others is always a plus. Always being like an encouragement to help push others, even if they're wheelchair bound, even if they can't physically do much, but you're always an encouragement to them. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And to push them to reach their goals, maybe they're going through physical therapy to walk again, or maybe they're battling with their health, other health issues, and you're there to be an encouragement. It's a blessing. So be that woman, be that man that always strive to help others out. Always strive to help others out because you never know when that person is going to be in need. You never know who you're going to bless when you help that person out. You never know if you're a blessing to them. You could just save their life, and you could just be there just to be a help. And you never know that you're saving their very life by you just being there for them. Let's turn to a scripture. Proverbs 19:17. Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord. So if you always have a heart and have a desire to feed the homeless or help the less fortunate, you lend to the Lord. You lend to the Lord. Now I'm going to share some celebrities that need to get recognition for their helping the community. They're only not just artists, not just movie stars and artists, but they're also a help to community, and they're also a help to the world. And I'm gonna start with the one and only. Check this out. The late great Michael Jackson, legendary pop star, world class of all time, music artist and pop star of all times, humanitarian, had a heart of gold, used to lend to help his environment, lend to help the community in the not only just in his community or where he lived in where he's from in Gary, Indiana, but he's also been a Trinampolis, oh, I said it, and also a person of great humanitarian works. None other than Michael Jackson, man. Yes, gotta give it to him. And this is his day. This video that I'm recording is on the day where we look at it. Remember his passing on June the 25th, June 25th, 2009. Like and that day, sad day. I just remember that day like it was just yesterday when I heard the King of Pop went into cardio arrest. And yeah, but to me, he was not just an iconic pop star, he was a humanitarian. And I'm sure to many people, he was a man of many humanitarian works, and also a man that just gave.
The King of Pop was not only a legendary entertainer but also known for his philanthropic efforts and humanitarian work. Throughout his career, Jackson supported numerous charitable causes and organizations, demonstrating a commitment to making a positive impact on the world. One of his most significant contributions was his involvement in various charitable initiatives focused on children's health and education. In 1985, Jackson co-wrote and performed in the charity single, We Are the World. The project raised $63 million for the cause. In 1992, Michael Jackson founded the Heal the World Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to improving the lives of children. The purpose of the foundation was to provide medicine to children and fight world hunger and homelessness. Jackson donated substantial amounts of money to various charities and visited hospitals and orphanages to bring attention to the needs of children all around the world. Michael Jackson's humanitarian efforts and philanthropic contributions cannot be overlooked. His legacy extends beyond his music, leaving a lasting impact on the lives of many through his charitable work.
Yes, and that's a clip I had to share. I found it and I had to share it with you. Michael Jackson did a lot. He did a lot. Not only that, he did a lot but he touched individuals too as well. I know he's not only as you just remembered for his music, his great music, but he's also remembered for his humanitarian work. He's a giver. He's a giver, and that's well honored. That's well honored, and I applaud him. And rest in peace to the King of Pop. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson, man. Yes, yeah, yes. And rapper Ti. I was taken back. You know, the media. Before I get into Ti, the media always like to share bad news. You know, we look at the news and we always get bad news and hearing the bad news. But a few days ago, I think 2, 3 days, only 2, 3 days ago, I heard the news that Ti in the community, in his community that where he come from, gave back. Gave back, and I want to share that clip with you. He gave to his community, and I was impressed, and I applaud Ti, hip hop artists, for giving of himself and just sharing and building up his community. Check this out.
Today, Atlanta rapper T.I. attended the ribbon cutting of his first affordable apartment development. It includes 143 apartments and 25 special units for homeless kids. The Entrada West Side sits across from Center Hill Park in Northwest Atlanta. T.I., whose real name is Clifford Harris, told us he remembers how the community struggled when he was young.
The arts and entertainment industry in this city has been able to collaborate and be, I guess, profitable enough to offer the community so many things that, are much needed.
Developers say the property was once a shopping center where T.I.'s grandmother used to shop for groceries. Today, Atlanta rapper T.I. attended the ribbon cutting of his first affordable apartment development. It includes 143 apartments and 25 special units for homeless kids. The Entrada West Side sits across from Center Hill Park in Northwest Atlanta. T.I., whose real name is Clifford Harris, told us he remembers how the community struggled when he was young.
The arts and entertainment industry in this city has been able to collaborate and be, I guess, profitable enough to offer the community so many things that, are much needed.
Developers say the property was once a shopping center where T.I.'s grandmother used.
And that was good news from T.I. Clifford Harris coming out of Atlanta, and he's giving back to his community where he grew up and where he's from, Atlanta, Georgia. And I admire him for that, for giving and lending a hand and helping his community, homeless children, 100-unit apartments to home, affordable to home, homeless children. And I was taken back. I was very, very much happy when I heard that, because that's some good news. Usually you hear bad news, but that was really good news. And for that, so I applaud artist, hip hop rapper icon Ti. And that was some good news. That's what you call giving. Michael Jackson giving, Ti giving, and it's an honor. It's just when you have it to give, especially when you're blessed to give, you just give and give of your heart, give back to your community, and help those that are less fortunate, help those that are hurting, and it's a blessing when you can do that. And I want to be put in a position to do that, where I have enough so I can help others. Don't keep it to myself. Be a blessing to help others and be a help to others out there. Yes. About 2 years ago, iconic hip hop artist, actress Queen Latifah created and gave and built affordable housing in Newark, New Jersey, where she's from. She lent a hand to her community, and she was able to build affordable housing for people that's in need in Newark, New Jersey. And I admire that. Now, check out this news clip that I'm gonna share with you now.
A Jersey girl back home for a good cause. Queen Latifah joined Newark Mayor Ras Baraka and others to break ground on a new housing development. On the corner of 41st Street and 19th Avenue, this building will feature a fitness center, business center, charging stations for electric vehicles, and so much more. It is just the beginning of an even bigger plan to modernize living. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore.
Newark is ours. Newark is yours. And I don't want people to think that they can't live in their own communities.
Hip-hop artist, actress, and now developer Queen Latifah returned home to Newark to break ground on a new multi-million-dollar construction project Tuesday. 1, 2, 3. Queen Latifah, a co-president of Blue Sugar Corporation, is working with Gonsosa Development and Life Assets Development to turn this block just outside the city's downtown area into modern housing and mixed-use space. 16 out of the 76 homes will be classified as affordable housing.
I drove past this block. I saw what was needed on this block. I saw houses that weren't lived in. I saw maybe several houses that had, tenants, that were lived in, and some were really dilapidated.
Work started on the 600 block of Springfield Avenue in January. Construction will continue along 19th Avenue and South 16th and South 17th Streets. The excitement over this project has been building for years.
This project is bringing blight to light. And we are so excited about how this project is advancing Newark forward in an inclusive and equitable way.
Leaders hope this lays the foundation for a more vibrant future in Newark.
And this is going to be a linchpin for so much development in this area.
In Newark, Crystal Cranmore, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
So when you're blessed It's an honor to give back when you're blessed. When God blesses you, you give to others. When God blesses you abundantly, you share it with others. And that's what Queen Latifah did, T.I. did, and the late great Michael Jackson did. I heard that news 2 years ago when Queen Latifah broke ground and was opening affordable housing. And we know, even back then, housing is expensive. Apartments are expensive. Right now, we're still in inflation. And we know any bit, any bit helps. And Queen Latifah found it in her heart to give back to Newark, New Jersey, where she's from. And she was able to help people to live in affordable apartments because, listen, in America, those who listen to me on the world, in Russia, any other place that's listening to me, Russia, Ukraine, other places that's listening to me, very expensive. I'm talking about $2,500 apartments, one just a studio apartment, over $1,500 for a room. I know somebody's paying $1,600 for a room right now in Brooklyn, New York. I know people paying $3,700 mortgage. I know people paying $2,500, $2,200 rent, $2,500 rent in the United States, in New York City. And then in LA is even worse. I've seen $4,700 a month for an apartment. And Queen Latifah found it in her heart 2 years ago to develop affordable housing for people that's less fortunate in the community where she's from. So I applaud legendary, iconic hip hop artist, also producer, actress, Queen Latifah. Yes. Now the live word of the day is coming out of 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 7. God loves a cheerful giver. Well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings. And if you like what I shared, smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel, Zaccheus Gospel. Be safe and blessings. God bless and be safe out there. Until next time.